Hello, welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'm here 365 days of the year to take your 12 political questions out of the chat. Just put your questions in the chat between like 11 and 12 Central Time in the US, and then I take those, I grab those there. If you're watching this on replay, hello, you can go down in the description box. All the questions for today are listed there, and I timestamp them as I go. So you can just pick and choose what you're interested in. Or you can always up the speed on this video if you're watching on replay, if you want to just get through things more quickly. I do that a lot on videos. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That's an ongoing thing. And we have epic troll slayers who keep us safe. Thank you. And Kristen from Uncover the News is bringing us great headlines. Trillium Treasures yesterday was bringing us great headlines. Thank you. Thank you. The sun keeps getting the sky outside, since I'm in front of windows. I've done what I can with the lighting, but it's coming and going and coming and going. So thank you, Alexandra. So we're just oh, I saw something. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Deb. Okay. All right. So we're gonna jump in. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but we're going to start at 2 minutes in with, according to Ukraine. We're going to do the Ukraine-Russia questions, just a few of those, and then some international questions, some Trump January 6 questions, some U.S. domestic questions, that sort of thing. Let me just try this. There, hopefully that'll work. All right. Yes, the star of the show is snoozing right there. All right. 2.5 minutes in. Thank you for being here. According to US and UK intelligence, Putin's advisors are scared to tell him how badly things are actually going in Ukraine. How much have they been hiding about the calamity of the situation? In fact, there was a headline this morning, I believe it was Biden, was saying he's going to declassify some information that basically shows that Putin's being lied to. So I don't know exactly what's going on there, but whew. Well, just in splitting the deck, I've got the Lover's card, so the people who are completely loyal, but there's a Tower card, and they're trying to hide it. So, thank you, B. Smith. Thank you, Pamela. You guys are great. You're so kind. You're so kind to each other, too. We have a great community here. So, ooh, got that Lover's card again. Just really, we're loyal, and we don't want to die. So Putin, he's not going to be able to make great decisions if he doesn't have correct information. And it sounds like maybe his people don't want to give him correct information. So how much in the dark is he? Other than having the soul of a serial killer. No, how much lacking in information is he? Oh, thank you, Diana. Strength. Ukraine is holding on. Effectively, they're winning. I mean, that's... Oh, and one of the things we're going to be looking at next question is about Chernobyl. Whew. There's some sick Russian soldiers. All right, 10 of Wands. Ten of Swords. Nine of Swords. I got 2 cards for here. Page of Cups and Justice. Yeah, there's no real justice, as 'twere. 2 of Cups. The war is a massive burden. It is not going well. These people do not want to tell him anything, but it's also keeping him in the dark and causing him some stress, because what he's being told isn't matching what he's seeing. So the information he's getting from different perspectives on troop movement, troop losses, troop whatever, things aren't adding up quite right, and the West is working together and helping Ukraine, and they are really leveling the playing field. So is Putin going to make some really stupid mistakes because of this? Thank you, Lily. Future Watcher, I'm afraid I don't know who that is. I have my 12 questions for today, but I'll be back tomorrow. You can just put your questions in and before I go on, please. So, and I'm here 365 days of the year, and your questions are very important to me. Okay, so is Putin going to make a really stupid mistake because he doesn't have the right information? He doesn't have all the information he really needs. 5 of Cups. He's trying to kick down the. He's got disappointment. He's trying to kick down the forces, but they're still there. Excuse me. 10 of Swords again. 5 of Pentacles. 2 of Cups. He's frustrated. He is angry. The West is just. Ukraine is still standing. The West is helping them. His own people are. I'd say they're coming back in body bags, but they're not even necessarily coming back. I'm so sorry. Back when this first started, there was some talk about there was a cremation truck following the group of the kind of on the convoy of soldiers and equipment, a cremation truck. And we were saying, well, it must be just psychological warfare, whatever. They're not just going to cremate their dead soldiers on the spot. Maybe they are. Kristen from Cover the News is saying, breaking, Russian forces abandon Hostomel airport outside Kyiv. I'm so sorry. The site of intense fighting between Putin's invaders and Ukrainian forces. Aiden, did allergies get to you too? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's spring. Diana Cachet. Thank you for I thanked you for the nails yesterday. Thank you. Diana Cachet is saying, oh gosh, that just zipped by. Oh, why are those cards so harsh? Ouch. Well, Putin's not doing well and he's angry. I don't think it's going to go well for him at all. He's watching over the battlefield, as 'twere. Page of Pentacles. He's fine. But yeah. The concern here is it's going to make this drag on longer. Labrat says it's a way to hide the numbers. B. Smith says antihistamines are my bestie at the moment. I took mine this morning, but just kind of keep going on. Oh, Ellie, I'm sorry. I've got my questions for today. Sorry. Tiffany Lilly is saying, does he not have a TV? Well, the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Well, he can't, if he listens to Western broadcasts, is he going to believe them? Is he going to say it's all just Ukrainian propaganda? And his own news channel-ish, or however they do news over there, they're saying rah rah Putin. Ace of Cups, Knight of Swords. Oh, okay, that was a really heinous. Okay, this is going to sound kind of gross. Let's just say the Ukrainian people will win by, this feels like putting Russian troops. Let's think of it this way, because I know there can be some kids in the background and around. I don't want to say anything too awful. Let's just say when you want to make hamburgers, you take a cut of meat and you put it through a machine, or one of those things that you screw to the table, and you put it in the top and you turn the crank. Because Putin's not getting the right information because of his ego, the fact that he's a psychopath and he doesn't care about anybody, Russian soldiers are just going to be eaten up because Ukraine's not going to give up, and Ukraine is going to. Yes, Debsy, but like I said, I know that some people who watch, they have little, they've got kids in the background, and I don't want to say anything really, really, really heinous. So anyway. All right. Sorry, Diana. All right. Well, they shouldn't invade the country. Don't try to take a country that isn't yours. Simplement. All right, 13 minutes in. Oh, yoy. Okay. Russia is pulling out of Chernobyl due to radiation exposure. And you'd think, uh-oh, is there some new great big scary, the exposure of the exposure, did they break the sarcophagus? Did they do all the stuff? And it's like, no, some bright spark sent these soldiers to Chernobyl. And in trying to keep Chernobyl, they told these soldiers to dig trenches. So all that radiation in the ground just go down and just rolling in all of that. Sandy Miller says, appreciation for respecting the kids being in the room. Oh, good. Ooh, trenches. Go dig trenches in Chernobyl. Anna says 7 busloads of Russian soldiers sick with radiation poison. Terry Solaris is saying the troops that were at Chernobyl are in Belarus for radiation poisoning. Yeah. Well done, genius. Dig trenches in a place that has notoriously been irradiated. How stupid do you have to be? How seriously? Go dig trenches. Yikes. But anyway, how much, I really want to know how much damage has been done there. How much did they dig up? How have they made the situation worse there? Are Ukrainians, apparently they abandoned it. So are Ukrainians, how hard is it going to be to clean up the mess left behind and make sure everything is okay? It's incredibly dangerous work. They've got to go through everything. I mean, okay, let's think of it this way. You're standing here and you have a friend who had a lot of equipment for, I don't know, you've got a friend visiting you who's good with radiation stuff. Well, something happens in your backyard. Well, okay, so what do you have to do? Your friend, you got to you get your friend suited up, and you got to have your friend go out there, and he's got to figure out what's where, how far out does it go, how deep does it go, what's going on. Then it's okay, what do you do about it? What are the, do you need to build a fence? Do you need to, it is, but that on a massive scale. It's on a much bigger scale. When they were digging trenches, it wasn't like, oh, we're just digging, a trench, that's 4 feet long or 10 feet long or something stupid. So it's a thing. Radiation. They kicked up radiation. Uncover the News says, Kristen saying employees at Chernobyl said the Russian soldiers, many of them teenagers, had no idea about the disaster or why the area was uninhabited. Wow. And I thought our education system had problems. Ace of Wands. They didn't learn about Chernobyl. They were sent into Chernobyl. Okay. Ace of Wands. 6 of Pentacles. Strength. Well, they have experience cleaning up. There's a Thief. That's the military leaders. Theft. Their actions. Chernobyl will get, the people there will get some help with cleanup or materials, and they do have experience dealing with all of this. So for what it's worth, I think it'll just take time. But wow, there are whole levels of stupid, and that is those who, they say, it's a old quote about those who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it. Well, those who do not learn history are doomed to walk into things they should know better about. So, all right, get my hair out of my. Fran is saying, I love the overlay. Reminds me of a room in my grandmother's house. Wallpaper. That room was calming. Oh, I'm glad. I just really liked it, and I like the colors in it. Heather Formosa, you have a point. Education leads to independent thought, which is not good for autocracy. That is true. You have a point there. Okay, so the next question is from Darren. At 20 minutes in, sorry, just need a couple of pins here, a couple of hairpins. Stephanie Martin saying, I was thinking the overlay was very 1950s, wallpaper or tablecloth maybe. I just thought it was pretty. Sherry H, the overlay is very springy. That was definitely the point. All right, almost done. Sorry about this. So Darren's question, will Putin leave by being removed or given the big dirt nap? Thank you, Kathy W. And thank you, Jean. If I were closer, I would assist you in your hair accoutrement. I could use it, I'm sure. All right. Hopefully that's okay. So, very, very, very 50s-ish. It's not completely, because they did really short hair, but Gretchen says, I'm just learning watercolor. The overlay would be fun to paint. Oh, that is cool. All right. 2115 or 2130. Will Putin leave by being removed or given ye old dirt nap? Thank you, Jean. Alexandra says, my sister just asked how you open bobby pins without your mouth. It's one of the things I had to teach myself. Also, I purposely learned, I needed to learn how to stop putting on my mascara without making the goofy open mouth face. So now I can just put on my mascara and not be like that kind of silliness. Now I just put on my mascara. Good, I made you guys laugh. All right. So, Putin, are you going to be leaving office with your shield or on it? As referring back to the Spartans. Lovers. Well, he's got the people who are super, super loyal to him right there with him. So, all right. Ace of Wands. Death. Hermit. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. This is completely new beginnings. He's isolated. Is it because of his actions taken that, and he's caused so much death that he's isolated and there needs to be a new start with revelation or revolution, or is this an action taken that... Oh boy, let's get clarification there because, oh dear. Oh, is Becca here? Hello, Becca, House of Lynn Normand. I know you've been busy, but I've been keeping an eye on your channel, hoping you'd do a grand tableau. I learned so much. And I love how you read. All right. You did a grand tableau on Putin fairly recently, I believe. King of Cups. Is he the one? It looked okay, or was that there was somebody you did recently? Oh, my brain. Putin or Mark Meadows or somebody, but they were like, they're fine. It was like, really? King of Cups. 3 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles, big change. I just keep getting cards of dirt naps. Yes, I need to do one on Clarence Thomas here soon. Ooh. Deborah Murphy, is this to keep him from talking to people? What people? It's Putin, so he'd do whatever he wanted? Diana Cachet is saying it wasn't a Putin GT. I'm sorry. Ace of Pentacles. Somebody paid. Someone rewarded. Oh dear. Government. 4 of. And then all of his ill-gotten gains. This is the government of kleptocracy. And then all of his big houses and what have you will be. I studied the French Revolution. French Revolution. I studied the Russian Revolution. Not formally, but I spent years reading about it when I was a teenager. I was very drawn to it for some reason. And yeah, when the Russians have a revolution, oh boy, it's not subtle. Ricky says Putin has the love and humanity of a sponge mop. That's true. Deborah Murphy, no more speech. 3 of Wands. He's paranoid. 9 of Cups. 2 of Cups. Temperance. Possibly. I'm having trouble imagining anybody can get to him, get to his food or drink or underwear like he did in Navalny. Sick, blankety blank. But oh, yep, Kristen, we're reading on that later. It's on the list. So, all right, we're just gonna leave that there. It's not looking good for him. It's hard to believe anybody could get close enough to do anything to him, but those cards are not good for him. Angie said, take Putin to the desert and let the worms take care of him. Dune, desert planet, Arrakis. The worms are the spice. All right, 29. Gretchen had a question here. 29. Putin just signed a bill to conscript 130,000 additional people for his army. How will this play out with Ukraine and with his own country? Because he's saying, oh, none of these people are going to go to war. Who believes him? Show of hands. $130,000 people conscripted. Cat Shepard says, and take Private Citizen Harkonnen with you. Yes. I think it's Harkonnen they're saying in the series, but in my brain, I read the book over and over, and in my brain it was always Harkonnen. Oh well. Queen of Cups. Mothers. Could could be mothers, which would basically mean a loving parent. It can be fathers as well. But a very loving parent, not someone who's stoic, just saying that could be male or female. Two of, boy, that's quite the bit of male to get. Two of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Ace of Cups, Page of Cups. They be offered more if they're willing to go to Ukraine, perhaps, but to some extent, there might be conscripts are more likely to switch sides. People who don't want to be there, who don't believe in the war, they're not going to. They're more likely to switch sides, sabotage equipment. You know. And this, you won't be sent there. How many soldiers were told they were just performing exercises and they weren't going to, and Russia wasn't going to invade Ukraine? Tower, not going to go well. 10 of Wands, Justice. The war's not going well. They want to even out the balance. And getting, not a good idea. People turn. More likely to turn anyway. Joanne says, don't they have to be trained a bit? Well, you would think. But I don't know how much. All right. Angie's dad says, Harkonnen pronunciation varies by which movie version you watch. Your pronunciation is correct for the 1984 version. Oh, good point, Angie's dad. Thank you. Thank you. Deborah Murphy is saying conscripts are AWOL big time. There we go. All right. So at 33 minutes in, let's move on to some international stuff. Claudia had a question. Can you see if Victor Orban from Hungary will win or lose the elections? On paper, Hungary is a NATO country, but Orban is allied with Putin. If he loses, will it change the war in some way? Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm under the impression that the elections are not fair. Am I correct in thinking that? And if he's a big buddy of Putin, probably not going to really love probably not going to really love democracy. Victor Orban. Victor Orban. Hungary. Page of Wands. Oh, isn't this the place where Takio Rose went? Isn't that Hungary? King of Wands. Sun. Fool. Moon. Page of Pentacles. I want to win. Campaign. This is just waltzing through. Of course I won. this is people being upset about that. And I wonder if he's got some family members he's also putting in place power. This does not feel like it doesn't feel like a fair election. This is, oh, look, I won. Oh, wow. Oh, I never would have guessed. That's what I'm getting. Hungary. Six of Swords. Page of Wands, Moon. Same thing. It's losing good people. People going overseas, people fed up and leaving. Oh boy. All right, so at 37. Oh boy. 37 in France. Marie Le Pen. Le Pen? Is it Le Pen? Marie Le Pen? All right, Marie Le Pen. Pen? I don't know. Is gaining ground in the French election against Macron. Huh, does she have a chance? Oh boy. You know, there were people in France who had fascist beliefs back in the early mid 20th century. They were called collaborators. Marie Le Pen. I'm gonna butcher the French language. Vous êtes horrible? Is that right? Marie Le Pen? Probably the wrong thing, but only in France it's pronounced like Le Pen, like the writing instrument. Okay. Thank you. Ugh. Seek help. Page of Cups. Okay, I was going to do more than 3 cards, but apparently just doing 3 cards. High Priestess, Queen of Wands, 2 of... Does she have a chance? Yes. Is she going to win? The card for the reading is younger, more liberal people. Joanne Moore, where is the book? Are you asking? Is that? Tell me that isn't what I said. Vous êtes horrible. You are horrible, but I don't know her. Well, where is the book? Wouldn't that be Où est le livre? Livre? That's a novel. Oh, massacring the French language on a lovely Thursday afternoon. King of Swords. Well, her father was a big. That's what you said. Okay, good. Thank you. Her father was like her, same sort of beliefs, I believe. Queen of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. I don't think she's going to win. Trying to get in there, but I'm getting cups at the end, so I'm not getting fascists. I'm getting more liberals. Où est le livre? Livre. Yes, livre, not libra. Ja. Oh, all right, moving on. And I almost left the French language intact, but ils sont horribles. She is horrible. Ils sont horribles. She is horrible. Or vous êtes horrible would be you are horrible, right? Anyway, all right, moving on. 42. Oh, back in the States. 42. Supreme Court ruling on the Wisconsin legislative map puts voting rights advocates on high alert. Further limits on the Voting Rights Act could in practice narrow it out of existence. There's a link in the description if you want more details. But voting rights in the U.S. My friends, elle est horrible. She is horrible. Elle est horrible. Merci beaucoup. Oh, ils sont would be they are. So it would be her and her father. Ils sont horribles. They are horrible. Yes, thank you. Apostolizing. Où est le livre? Where is the freedom? Yes. Like I said, massacring the language. But really, where is the freedom? Read on this horrible stuff, but I don't have to, but I want to read on this horrible stuff because I want to know what's really going on in the background, what's going on in the collective energy. So voting rights in the US are under fire. Surprise. Shocking, I know. Never would have guessed it. Voting rights in the U.S. Man. Oh, Andrea, hello from Sweden. Hello. So I'm sorry for my spelling. Oh, I was just massacring French, so don't worry about it. Ace of Pentacles. Voting rights. Basically state by state. We had voting rights. They were lovely, weren't they? We had some voting rights at least. It was glorious while it lasted. Three of Cups, Page of Pentacles. Six of Cups. Six of Swords. Eight of Pentacles. They were glorious, but there were, I can't remember who it was. There was I don't know that I ever really knew the guy's name, but back in, I want to say around 2008 to around 2010, he was a younger guy who, while Democrats were really focused on Washington, D.C., he said, we Republicans, we need to focus on the states. And the RNC was like, what? And he was like, no, trust me. And he spearheaded a lot of stuff, I believe. And that's why the Republicans have been able to kind of, well, gin up the crazy in the states so much. So, and we're kind of sitting here, fat, dumb, and happy that we'll be able to vote, but they're working to try to hem it in so that not everybody can vote. Well, I mean, I'm in Chicagoland. I'm in the Chicago. I'm in the Chicago suburbs. Will I be able to vote? Yes, but not everybody will have it so easy. So, let's see here. Voting rights. But will Democrats get in anyway? Will numbers, it's still, we have to turn out in numbers, big numbers. Aiden's saying, fat, dumb, and happy, my new Instagram bio. I love that. That was funny. That was funny. Okay, the wheel turns, the pendulum swings. Okay, it's not all bad. New Instagram bio, that was good. All right, 6 of Wands. High Priestess. Justice. Well, we know that can't be the Supreme Court because they were instrumental in gutting. They're being instrumental in gutting voting rights. All right, Supreme Court, you are seriously damaging any thought of credibility you've ever had, because you've got some far, far right people on that court. But we are strong. We will vote. It will get better. But yeah, right now it's ugly. And, brace yourself for how the Supreme Court is going to rule on women's health care in these next couple of months. I mean, they could, because I printed out the court information. So the Supreme Court calendar, days, non-argument sessions marked in blue, those are usually when they come out with rulings. There's one day in April, so it's April 4th. They've got one day where we might hear, but usually big stuff like this they'll leave till the end. But there's April 4th, but then there are four days in May where they could come out with rulings, and then the 4 days in June when they could. There's usually a Monday unless there's a holiday or a couple of holidays in there that knock it over into Tuesday, but generally they're Mondays. So, gird your loins. All right, 4930, Revolution Ricky. I've never heard anything about this. Revolution Ricky was asking, does Merrick Garland have a personal friendship with Donald Trump? I've never heard anything like that. Elisa's saying, did you see Cash Peters' latest drawing about the Supreme Court? Yes, I did. Yes. Garland. I've never heard anything like that. Chariot. Oil and water. Garland he's a judge. He's really persnickety about the law. Talking to, Grifter, Mr. Grift. Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. No. There's no. You guys ask questions, I look at them. Your questions are important to me. So you ask, I'll look. With very few exceptions. So, okay. Hello, Disrat. All right, 51. Caitlyn Jenner is now an official contributor to Fox News. I heard that headline and I immediately said, I wonder which bathroom they'll make her use. Or maybe they just won't let her come into the studios. How will they handle their own transphobia? Seriously. How will they handle their audience's transphobia? I'm just sitting here. It's like, really? You're Mr. Far Right here. As a trans woman, and you're going to go on Fox News. Queen of Cups. Ten of Pentacles. Five of Cups. Seven of Cups. Chariot. Five of Pentacles. Well, see, here's the thing. I know they just hired her as a contributor, but it's like I can feel the audience's transphobia. And parts of the audience turning the TV off whenever she comes on. I mean, it's just... And eventually they don't keep her around forever. There's too much of a backlash. They have their way of doing things, and she has those same ridiculous entitled beliefs, but I'm feeling such a wave of disgust from viewers. Moving on, 5530. The House is expected to pass a bill that would decriminalize marijuana use on a federal level. Jen Glenn asked this question. The House is expected to pass a bill that would decriminalize marijuana use on a federal level this week. Will it pass? Decriminalizing marijuana use federally. I've got two words for you. Tax revenue. Lovers. Things have changed, isn't it? Who was it? There was somebody really unexpected who left politics to join in a marijuana company. Something like, I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody. It was really unexpected. I remember the time. It was like, what? Didn't you pass laws against? Oh, whatever. Kristen David says it'll never pass the Senate. Oh, is it Ryan? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Susan. Former speaker, says Pegasus. Oh, yeah, it was Ryan. That box of hair. Kirsten Langston used to call him that box of hair. I think it's a pretty good description. Oh, John Boehner, Kim Larson. I think he did it too. Or was it Boehner? I'm pretty sure that's what Boehner did. But Paul Ryan, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense as much as any of it would. Hey, Linda. 5 of wands, 9 of cups. That's a merchant. Oops. 9 of swords, Knight of pentacles, Knight of swords. These are the competing forces. It's moneymaker. This is a merchant. Possibly making money, but law enforcement here. Some people being worried. The far right, supposedly anti-drug. Gates, anyone? Allegedly, yeah, Gates. This is law enforcement at the end. The government really wants the money. Victor Storm says John Boehner really hates Ted Cruz. Join the club. Welcome to the club. Hierophant, government. 4 of pentacles, justice, 3 of cups. The energy is not strong. The energy, and I've got competing forces here. Government wants the revenue. Law enforcement, the judicial system, they use marijuana being illegal to keep a horrible, unfair system going. But ultimately, things get better and better. So things get easier and easier. But I don't know if it's going to be now. But the energy isn't strong. I mean, you've seen me. Sometimes, I'll tell you if the energy is really strong or if it's really weak. And this is stoned and sitting on the couch. That's what the energy is doing. Two of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles, Chariots. I don't think it's going to pass now. That's what I'm getting. So. All right. 101. It's getting strangely dark in here again. There, that's better. All right, so at 101 and a bit, Arlene Young had a question. Can you please read on Hunter Biden? Okay, let's read on Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden. Apparently, is that the DOJ is moving forward with possible illegality with his taxes or something. I forget what it is, but Hunter Biden. He is not in government. He's not in office. Oh, did anyone ever hear about Lucius Malfoy? Jared Lucius Malfoy was supposed to be talking to the committee today via video conference. Did that? Long before I came on, it had already been going on for like 90 minutes. Has anybody heard? Does anybody come out and said anything about that? If he's being useful or helpful? Because what I was getting was emptiness, just like he wasn't there, or it was just flimsy, nothing. So, 4 of Pentacles. But we're reading about Hunter Biden. Well, you know, Trump and his ilk, they're just all over this. Alexandra, not in the news yet. I haven't seen. Okay, thank you. World. Fool. Devil. Sun. 7 of Pentacles. Well, things have come to light. I mean, there's a devil card in the middle, but this has to do with his addictions. He went around the world and he did probably use connections to get jobs. Like, that never happens. But things coming out, fruits of labor, it's hard to read on people who've been like heavy duty drug users, because there is some residual ick in their energy field. It takes a long time to get rid of, and he's still got it in his energy field. Oh, merci, Viola. Hunter Biden. Empress. That is America. 9 of Cups, King of Cups, 2 of Swords. They may charge him. They may charge him with some kind of tax something, which is like, oh, really? You can't do that with Sniffy, really? But you can do that with, sure. They might charge him, but it feels much more like, it feels like he's just being more straightforward. Life gets a lot easier when you're not off your face and spending half your life lying. Things just get easier. Page of Cups, Son of the King, Ace of Cups, Devil. I'm not getting, for what it's worth, I'm not getting huge, like, Justice card, Six of Swords, going up the river, getting, turning over a new leaf, the old corruption, paying what's due. It's just kind of there. So, Janer is saying, oh, I'm sorry, I don't do personal readings. These are just political readings. Sorry. All right. So at 1:07, Aiden had a question. This is actually left over from yesterday, but it's a fun question. What is the future of AI? You know, do we need to be afraid the way that some big tech people are, or will we ever walk down the streets hand in hand with robots like in all those futuristic movies? Aiden says, oh, look, it's me. Future of AI. Have you guys seen those videos of where they take pictures or paintings of famous people and they modernize them, like what this person would look like today, and like give them modern hair and clothes? There's one out there with Anne Boleyn and Queen Elizabeth, and they're pretty shocking. They're like, good, shocking. Okay. This is a thief card, but it could be someone doing menial tasks we don't want to do. Seven of Swords, Temperance, Moon, Devil, Page of Swords, Two of Pentacles. There's going to be fighting. It's going to go into warfare. That's what we need to worry about. Where my AI is going to fight your AI for like the ultimate hacker. And yeah, at first it's not going to be, but it becomes it feels like it's moving into warfare, and it can threaten stability of grids and electrical grids and you name it. But walking down the road with robots, it could be companions. I think so. Companions, people with disabilities, elderly, certainly a lot of jobs, dirty jobs that are dangerous jobs that other people don't want to do. So yeah, that's kind of where we're headed. But the main thing I'm getting is don't forget the military side of it too. But things are going to change. I mean, think of how much things have changed over the last 30 years. You know, when I went to college in 1990, we had those little word processors where you could just have a little tiny screen, and you could only see like a line or two at a time, and their internet was something the military had. It was something that people were talking about, but it wasn't a thing. It wasn't. It was only like by the mid 90s that, or the yeah. It was only a few years later, certainly by the mid 90s, it became a big thing. And even compared to what we have now, it was minuscule. So things are going to change. But it's not necessarily bad. It's just going to be different. And a matter of fact, instead of one card, I tried to pull 2 cards. It's like 2 are coming out. Because of that, we're going to make I'm getting from AI, we're going to make great strides in medicine. Oh, wow. Medicine, engineering, mathematics. Queen of Swords. Kind of joking about, oh, my AI do it. Hello, what are we reading on? How are the kitties? We're reading on the future of AI. So, Knight of Swords, 5 of Wands, with Lovers and Ace of Swords, Hierophant. What you're not seeing here is the Tower, the Devil, death. But it will change things, and it will change things rapidly. The sheer amount of computing power and ability to work through things and connections that can be made, and it will all improve. So Jen Glenn says Sterling often talks about CRISPR technology and how it's going to help so many people. I think it will. I think it will. It's also, going to be misused by somebody somewhere. CRISPR technology is basically gene editing. Is what my understanding is. That the have I got this? Have I got that mixed up with something else? There was another question. Kristen Davis is saying rethugs will find a way to radicalize robots. Well, yeah, I mean, gene editing. Yeah. Thank you, Gretchen. Linda Sue says each AI unit has the ability to learn incredibly fast and far surpass human intelligence very rapidly. Yes. Fran Urbina says, does anyone remember the Jetsons? Of course. Meet George Jetson, Jane, his wife. Was the kid Leroy? Gosh, it's been a long time. He'd go to hand her some paper cash and she took his wallet. How quaint. Jim Dave says, as long as the computer doesn't turn off life support, everything is okay. Elroy, that was it. Thank you. Jim Dave, AI turning off life support. Militarized AI might do stupid stuff like that. But King of Swords, 8 of Cups, Justice, Queen of Swords. Do you guys remember in iRobot, the 3 laws that you cannot harm a human, and you must do what's best for the, best for humanity, or whatever that was, but there was a way to take it the wrong way, and robots decide that the world is safer if we're not in it, and whatever. It's like, that's not going to happen. They've got they will have something in place that will there have been now this gets into something I haven't read in a long time, and my brain's a little tired, but it was something about logic. It's like, well, just make a decision based on logic, and the fact is, apparently you can't, because if in the human brain, if people who've had damage to different parts of their brain, or injuries, whatever, if their emotions are suppressed significantly, they have trouble making decisions, because there is an emotional component to our decisions in the way that our brains are set up, and we are set up, even in the back, near the back of the brain, to be these communal beings we are not just working for ourselves, we're doing good for people around us, because it ultimately helps our own survival. And it's just makes everything nicer. So we don't just think about ourselves, and we don't use just pure logic. And they're going to work that in. Machines that only use pure logic will be like dismissed, or like looked down upon, even by the AI that ultimately starts coming to the forefront. Will look down at the purely factual, only logical AI as being, oh, it's a calculator. So it's going to change a lot of things, but it's not going to be all bad. I'm not getting it's going to be all bad. So anyway, yes, Scott Conwell, logic is the beginning of wisdom, not the end. Yes. Much as I love the Vulcans, great aesthetic. But anyway, well, that's going to do it for me for today. But thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I love spending time with you guys. You have great questions, and you're funny too. So it is 1:35 p.m. here in Chicago. At 4 o'clock, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel to do 4 creative sprints. I'm trying something different today. We may have a new person on either today or soon. Kate Priest from the chat. She's been coming on camera with us. Aiden may be coming soon. And I'm trying a new thing, since because Kate lowers her camera, so when she's working on this, she's making this historical skirt, and you can see it. You can watch her just silently working. And I was thinking about setting up a camera here, so you can actually see my desk during those sprints, to kind of hold me accountable, but also just show that, yeah, I really am working. Hopefully that inspires somebody to be creative, work on their own stuff, because you're always welcome. So, all right. Other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow. I'm here 365 days of the year. Thank you. Take care. All right. And I will see you tomorrow.